a good day for a barbecue. Something like that. Get a ribeye and have a nice little steak for dinner. We'll see what happens. It's just gorgeous out there. It's the kind of day you could just sit on the edge of the porch all day long. You have fun with all that gardening stuff there. I don't have to tell you, bend with those knees, or you pay the price. Enjoy the day with the kids.
Howdy. And I went to his house to wish him and his wife particularly, Happy Mother's Day. So it'll be a lot of fun. I went to my grandson's 7-year-old ball game. And the coach is telling the kids what to do. Throw it to first, throw it to seven. And it's talking about bad news, Bears, baseball. That was it. Go ahead.
How about that? Well, that sounds pretty good to me. And you gonna have any kids over today?
No, we're going to my son's house, and that'll be fun. But anyway, what's up with you, buddy?
Well, they got rained out here. Even the Nationals got rained out. All the millions of dollars they pay those guys, and they couldn't play in a little bit of rain. So we just didn't get to see that game. Top of the second inning, I think, and then they got rained out. It wasn't that much of a rain either. So a lot of people were out there working in the rain. Mailman, the UPS man, FedEx man, Prime delivery folks. They're all out there working in the rain. They don't make nearly as much as those boys do out on the baseball field. So I don't know what the deal is there. Anyhow, so we'll be doing a little Sunday drive, you might say, and then forward to a nice meal. Yeah. So that's it. Nothing too heavy duty. I might go down to the back 40 and start working on an antenna project. But I'm not motivated to really do a whole lot except just relax with this fine day after being cooped up yesterday. Thanks for asking, Ray. Have fun.
Yeah, we'll have a good day and a nice and cool one. We've had temperatures in the 80s for the past few days. It's nice to see it cooling down. Take care, Dave. Enjoy. And again, happy Mother's Day to the bride. 7-3.
Alrighty, fine business. ECARS Radio on 55 WA3GIN. Listening. ECARS calling any check-ins for ECARS Radio. You don't have to be a member to check in.
Juliet Yankee.
All right, Juliet Yankee, come on in.
Good morning. This is Alpha Baker 4, Juliet Yankee. Glen, located in Bedford, Virginia, where we get 70 degrees and an incredible day on the way. Maybe getting up to the upper 70s. You get a good signal to you, solid, you hit 9, and really good. Kind of short bounce. Or maybe straight, I'm not sure. Anyway, have a super day there. Sounding good, and have a great Mother's Day. AB4JY.
Okie doke, very good, Glenn. Nice to have you in here today. Appreciate it. Man, sounds really good. Hope you have a great day and a good week coming up.
7-3.
All righty, ECARS on 55 WA3GIN, listening for station.
KYW.
Okay, Kilo Echo 8, KYW. Come on in.
Yeah, Kilo Echo 8, Tango Yankee Whiskey. How are you doing today?
Real fine. What's the name there?
Name's Randy. I'm in West Virginia. I just got through talking to Frank here just a few minutes ago. Don't know if I've talked to you before or not.
All right, Randy. The name here is Dave. We're in King George, Virginia, due east of you. Strong RF signal here. And nice to have you checking in with us. Appreciate you checking in with us. Go ahead.
Yeah, would you come back and give me your call sign there again? I didn't catch it.
Whiskey, America, 3, Germany, Italy, Norway, WA3GIN.
All right, well, that's easy enough. Yeah, nice day here. I assume you're having a nice day over there, too, since we're not that far apart.
Gorgeous day here. Absolutely spectacular, Randy.
Well, thanks for coming back.
I think you must have hit your VFO there. You moved frequency. Oh.
Hey,
anyhow,
Dave, you still there?
ECARS radio on 55. W83GIN. 7255 kilohertz.
Hello, Echo 8 Tango Yankee Whiskey here.
I got Fox November Tango. I think Randy got back on frequency. Who else? All right, FNT, good morning.
Good morning. Johnny here, Charleston, West Virginia, KBA, running about mid-60s today. Looks like it might be a fairly decent day, but kind of overcast. Just making a check-in, 8509 on the ECARS roster.
All right, good deal. Well, you're sounding good. All you boys over there from the other Virginia is coming in good today.
Well, actually, you're about the first one I've been able to actually copy real good. So, I've been sitting here since about 8 o'clock this morning.
Oh, my goodness. You're a lantern over the net here, over the band. Real fine. Thank you for that report. You got anything planned for today?
Nah, just a couple errands. Got to fix a couple little things. Other than that, not much. Sunday, I'm not going to do anything except prepare to go back to work for the work week. Tell you, you're doing good from Virginia up here. You're rolling 20 over.
Oh, that's a pretty nice signal. With just a dipole at 50 feet, not even a full-size dipole. Just a little shorty 40 on a tri-band antenna, a high gain. Call it a bender, I guess.
I'm running 100 watts on the wire.
And I like it.
And it's a
Good job. Nice figure 8 pattern. Wish I could put the pattern on Joan up there on 5/8. Yeah, it always comes in. I've got this antenna east-west. Johnny, take care. Have a great day, and don't work too hard next week.
Oh, all he did was double with you, NJ2US.
Thanks. All right, Donnie, you take care. I can't control that, and it doesn't bother me that much.
Well, you pause in between your sentences, and then you wonder why somebody's transmitting on top of you.
No, I don't wonder about it at all. To tell you the truth, I don't wonder about it.
Well, it doesn't make for smooth net operations, sir. NJ2US.
I wasn't trying to have a smooth operation this morning.
Well, that's not very nice.
Wasn't trying to be very nice either.
Well, that's clear. 73. See you at noon, NJ2US.
Okay. Very good. Donnie, you got anything else you want to say?
No, that's agree and have a great day.
Okay, fine. ECARS radio on 7255. We're listening for any station.
KC2MZW.
Is that ZW?
Kilo Charlie 2, Mike Zulu Whiskey.
All right, I got you. KC2MCW, good morning.
Good morning. Name here is Neil, November Echo India Lima. I'm in the Finger Lakes area of New York. My roster number is 21218. And it got a little cold here today. Last night, I should say. It got down into the upper 30s. Had to fire up the pellet stove just to take the chill off. But it looks like a nice day. I'm transmitting off an ICOM 7000 running barefoot through a half-wave end-fed sloper. Over.
All right, Neil. Well, that's very interesting, and it's working for you today. Have you worked any other stations this morning?
No, you're the first one. I just had to get up and get things around here. The sloper is a new one I just put up, and it seems to be working. It's made as an 80-meter sloper, 132 feet long, but I can tone it in at 160, and I can tone it in at 6, and everything in between on the ham band, so that made me happy. Anyway, just thought I'd check in, and I'll be going QSY after this. This is KC2MZW 73's in good health.
All right, you got the antenna working. 73 to you, and I think there's a little animal in your lap or something there making some noise. So ECARS radio on 55. We're listening for any station.
Pre-check.
Pre-check station. Come on in.
Kilo Echo 8 Tango Yankee Whiskey. I have to give you a call back, Dave, and apologize for that. I hadn't been using this radio for a while, and the button on top of the microphone I happened to bust, but and it jumped about 200 hertz, 300 hertz, went right on down the line.
I saw you zoop, right down the band. And I guess you put the brakes on and came back up, so that worked just fine. Absolutely. What mic are you using with that radio today?
It's the standard ICOM mic that comes with 7300. It's got an up and down button on it, and when you hit it, it goes right away. But I apparently leaned on it and didn't realize it. And well, like you said, right on down the band, I looked up and seen the meter going. And I thought, oh no. So anyway, I apologize for that. Of course, I think Jeff probably owes you an apology too for giving you a hard time this morning, don't you think?
No.
Not at all. I expect that from Jeff, and it wouldn't be right without it. So that's no problem. Are you talking straight into that mic or across?
Well, this is straight in, and this is across it.
Wow. It's straight in. The breath sounds are very apparent. Sideways, there still seems to be some breath sounds coming through there, which usually doesn't happen. You must have a strong voice.
I have a very low voice, so I have to be aware of that. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it does make it a little breathy. I apologize for that. Anyway, yeah, I enjoy talking to Jeff too. He's a good guy. Always got a good one for me wherever I make a mistake like that.
I'll bet. I think he has them charted up on the wall. He knows where to go. Now, and otherwise, maybe he just has a dart he throws. I'm going to do this one this morning. So anyhow, all right, well, good. Well, you sounded better when you pulled the mic back away. It may be that you're just overdriving that element so much, or maybe the elements, had better days. It is an older mic if it came with that radio, so know I had to replace some of my mobile microphones on a radio I had for 20 years. But sure did sound, it just sweetened up real nice there, sort of at the end. So maybe off to the side and maybe away just an inch or so. And then that fidelity comes through real nice. Okay, very good. Take care and have a great weekend.
Roger. Kilo Echo 8 Tango Yankee Whiskey. We're about 4 inches from the mic right now. Thanks for letting me come back there, and have a great day. We'll talk with you later.
Great. Good. You can get away with 4 inches. A lot of guys can't do it, but with your voice, you certainly can. You're listening to the East Coast Amateur Radio Service Network. It's 21 minutes after the hour, 11 o'clock here on the 14th of May. It's Mother's Day, if you've forgotten about that, and you need to take care of business and put the microphone down and take care of business. Standing by for any station's fixed mobile QRP.
Kilo Charlie 3, Yankee Golf.
All right, KC3YG, good morning.
Good morning. Beautiful morning in western Pennsylvania, and I guess a lot to look forward to. It's Mother's Day, and it's very nice for mothers to have a day like today. Go ahead.
That's very nice. What are you doing for that day?
Well, my wife's not doing well. But anyhow, we're doing the best we can. Our son will be over, and we have our daughter here. So it's family, and it is what it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, you do what you can do, right? That's it. That's all anybody can ask. So I hope you have a good event.
Well, we're going to wish you the same, and, as I said, you and I agree, it is what it is. But, we take what's given to us. We take a day at a time, and we're in our 80s. What more can you expect? We've been blessed. We feel that way. So, anyhow, it is what it is. So, we're not going to hold it with you. Appreciate you taking the call, and wishing you the very best day. This is Kilo Charlie 3, Yankee Golf.
All right. Fine business. Thanks for joining us this morning, taking the time out. And I wish you and the missus all the joy and health that anyone could possibly want. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, well, appreciate that. We're a lifetime member, 30868, and we enjoy, but also appreciate what you guys do. And you need a pat on the back. Go ahead.
I don't. That's all right, though. Thanks a lot. ECARS Radio on 55, WA3GIN. Standing by for any check-ins. You don't have to be a member to check into this net.
Kilo 3 Juliet Tango Alpha.
All right. K3JTA, what's going on?
Yeah, not much. It is, it's Mother's Day, and my daughter's going to be going to her house and to meet up with her mom, so got 3 generations going out to have something to eat, and then they're going to go to a concert, a little orchestra concert at my daughter's former school. She graduated there last year in 8th grade, and she's at the high school now. So, yes, I am putting together my Cushcraft R8. I took it apart to clean it all up, and I did it in sections so I didn't lose any of the hardware. So I'm working on the network system now, matching network, and putting that in there. You know, they have a little tiny spot where the water can drain out, and it looks like when I opened it up, there were spiders in there. They were all passed away, of course, but I don't know what kind of connectivity all of the moisture and the webs made, but unfortunately, I'm coming to the conclusion that those guys get in there when they're small, and then when they grow, they can't get back out. So that's kind of a drag. All right, well, you have a good day. Your signal sounds great. You're over 9 as usual. I don't even look at it anymore. So, all right, 73, my friend, K3JTA.
Okay, good deal. Well, I'll tell you what, the They are small. Some of them are really almost microscopic, I imagine. We had to clean out a trap and a tri-bander. SWR kept going up. And I thought the traps had gone or something odd, but we took it down, took a look at it, and like you, but there must have been tens of thousands of these things just piled up like a anthill almost, and they had gotten across the coils of the trap and created an impedance across the coil, I guess, and then they got scorched. It was an interesting way of cooking these little insects. So we dumped that all out, and then we had to polish up the coil. And apparently, the fix for that solution was to make the holes bigger in the trap. They have drip holes for moisture. And ever since we made the holes larger, we haven't had any more problems. So I guess they can get in and out now.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yep, this is a vertical, so that little drip space is on the bottom of the network, and they're also on the bottom of these traps. And I also have a little tri-band beam from Cushcraft, and those traps had their little drip holes, on the side of the trap, so that when they're horizontal, it goes down. And I took care of that. I cleaned that one all up. That was a Cushcraft NA5, and that was a project that I did last summer. So now I'm doing this one. All right. Well, you have a good day, sir, and we'll talk to you another time. K3JTA.
All righty. Fun business there. Those are fun projects, as long as you don't lose the screws. ECARS Radio on 55, 11:28 a.m. on the 14th of May. It's Mother's Day. This is the WA3GIN, listening for any station.
WA3KFT, WA3 Kentucky Fried Turkey.
Echo Mike Foxtrot, Electro-Motor Force, over.
Alrighty, real good. WA3 KFT and W2EMF is loud and clear today. Kentucky Fried Turkey, come on in.
WA3GIN. Hi, Dave. WA3 KFT. 10/9, according to the S-meter on my receiver. I have dipoles, but I don't have any traps. Mouse traps, but not RF traps. And never thought I'd get an 80-meter dipole up on a piece of property that was 75 feet wide and 30 feet deep, 130 feet deep. But if you hold the center up high and droop the ends and kind of start off as an inverted V and kind of lay it down, you got plenty of room. One anchor point for the 80-meter dipole, and it's a full-size dipole, is a tree in the front yard, and the other end is an extended fence post in the backyard. And the end of the dipole doesn't come anywhere near the ground, nor anywhere near the anchor point. So the 80-meter dipole is kind of in the free. And the 40-meter dipole that I am now using, fan dipole, I have a 20 and a 10-meter element on it, goes between the radio tower and a utility pole. I was lucky enough to have a utility pole at the back corner of the property. My tower is the opposite side, so right across the backyard. So it works out well. And as I said, your signal today, 10/9, no problem. We just got in from messing around in the garden, and hopefully we can get some stuff planted today. Looks like it's going to be a reasonable day. We tilled it the other day, and then it rained. So it's wet, but not muddy. WA3GIN. First in is potatoes. And then we'll get some string beans and squash and what have you. WA3GIN, WA3KFT.
Good deal. How about a plug for your net?
I'm sorry. I am net control today at 12 noon on 40 meters, 7237. 7237 for the Antique Wireless Association, or as close to that frequency as I can get. At the moment, it doesn't look like the band is too crowded today, but by 12 noon, who knows? But Antique Wireless Association, 12 noon, 7237. This is WA3KFT. Back to you, Dave.
All righty, good deal. Nice to have you in here. The band is really in very nice condition compared to what we've been experiencing the last week or so. Quite nice. Shame it's so nice outside, too. I hate to be inside playing on the radio. So gorgeous out there. Let's go over to the west and see what's happening with W2EMF. Good morning, Al.
Good morning, Dave. This is W2US Morning Report. And Waterford, Ohio, ECARS number 29015. And I hear you guys talking about some kind of animal your local oil or something like that. I just mentioned that's my local company. I hope you got me okay, Dave. I'm not going to go along with here. I just want to say that I heard something a couple of days ago saying that these squirrels were getting into their bird feeders. And I had that trouble quite a long while ago when we lived in New Jersey. But I took care of it with a couple of spark coils from the junkyard. Had a couple of spark coils from ECARS. And I set one of them up on the bird feeder. And I ran the wire back into the garage where I could sit and watch the bird feeder. And when a squirrel would get on the bird feeder, I would turn on my power supply that put out a signal, just like the old cars back in the old days. And I would activate this spark coil. And the squirrel, well, what happened was I had the hot side of the spark coil and the down side of the spark coil wired to the bird feeder, so that there were alternate wires, so that the squirrel would get the full jolt from the spark coil. And believe it or not, he would jump straight up in the air, and he'd come back down and then run down the bird feeder pole. And after a couple of jolts like that, he gave up and stopped shooting the birds out of the bird feeder. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I hope you copied it, because I think it's as a matter of fact, I had an experience when we lived in New Jersey that was kind of novel. I caught the same mouse 3 different times. And I'm not going to go into that story because I probably told it already. And I'm holding it much too long here, so back to you, Dave. WA3GIN, W2 Electromotive Force, 03, over.
All right, super. Well, you were hanging in there pretty good. S7, S8 the whole time. Nice copy, easy listening. Great idea on the spark coils. I can almost picture that, to tell you the truth. And so, I love it. Fantastic. I don't have any bird feeders. We used to, but they kept bringing in the raccoons, which we didn't want. So we just gave up on that. Sounds like you're doing well. The band is certainly doing well, Al. And we're glad to have both of you in there at the same time. You take care and have a great day.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. I'll tell the other story one of these days when the band is in pretty good shape like that. The story about how I caught the same mouse 3 different times. But I'm not going to tell it today because there's too many. There's a whole bunch of people I'm sure that are waiting to get pictures with you while you're thinking with such good shape. So the band is definitely in good shape today, Dave. WAPGIN, WCAS is pulling the board from saying 17. Anybody can hear me out.
Alrighty, 73. You're listening to East Coast Amateur Radio Service Network on 7255 kilohertz. It's 36 minutes after the hour. On the 14th of May, it's a Sunday, and it's Mother's Day. This is WA3GIN Operator Dave, transmitting from King George County, Virginia. We're standing by for any stations, fixed, mobile, QRP. You don't have to be a member to check in.
Right into your 4, I've seen over.
All right, I got KI4FON, and then there was one way down in the dust. We'll try you again in a minute. Don, what's going on in Alexandria City?
Well, we are doing nothing. Dave's just kind of easing while the weather's good. Get out there and get some of that. How do you do for that?
Yeah, I think so. It's just the birds are really screaming loud out there today, I'll tell you. All right, sir. Well, nice to have you checking in with us, and appreciate it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Okay, and say hello to the boss. Tell her Happy Mother's Day.
Hey, will do, Dave.
All righty. Any more? Lima Delta Mike, I think. Come in.
WA3GIN, WALDM, you got a copy, Dave?
You're really not making it today. There's no skip out there today for some reason. For you, for your direction, for me. Over.
Really?
Okay. All right. Well, there was you, Jim, I think, and then there was Lima and Juliet, and then the signal came up. And so I did eventually begin to hear you, but Jeff, go ahead, pick him up.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. W8LDM, Mike, you're Q4, about a 4.5 here in Cape May. Just wanted to let you know you're making it here, but it is a light signal today, Michael. Anything for the net?
No, nothing for the net. To all the mothers that might be earshot. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. And I've got almost no noise here at all. I'm not hearing anybody either. So the band here is completely dead. Thanks for this up. You have a great day. NJ2US, WA.
Okay, Michael, and happy Mother's Day to the important moms in your life, and thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. It's a light copy today. W8LDM, November Juliet 2 uniforms here. There you go, Dave. Back to net. Thank you, sir.
Okay, good. Pick up the guy with the Q in the call too, would you please?
Yeah, it was a Quebec something Juliet again. Anybody with a Quebec in their call?
November 3, Juliet, Quebec, Juliet.
Yes, sir. November 3, Quebec, Juliet, Quebec. Go ahead.
Yeah, N3, JQJ.
Yes, Stuart. N3, Juliet, Quebec, Juliet. Boy, that's about a tongue twister of a call sign when you stop to think about that. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, never liked it either. Anyway, top of the day, happy Mother's Day all around. We just wanted to check in and say hello.
Okay, Stu, what kind of rig and antenna are you running there? Sounds like maybe a little bit of RF clipping, RF feedback, RF interference.
Yeah, someone told me that once before, and I switched all the cables around. I think it may be just a SWR. But it's a Yahoo multi-band radio with the chest mic. The antenna is G5RB Junior.
Okay, Stu, copying 98.9%, so you're okay. We're getting intelligence through, but it is definitely probably that SWR issue, but you seem familiar. Stu, thank you very much. Anything else for the net before I give it back to Dave?
No, we'll just let it go. Thank you very much for the feedback, and good luck and happy birthday.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day. N3JQJ, NJ2US relay back to net.
All right, thank you much. What transceiver was he using?
I did not hear that part.
Stuart, what's the radio?
It's I used to multi-band radio. It's the 70 or somewhere around there.
See what I mean?
It's I can't make it out. So I can't get it.
It is a Yaesu.
All right, I was just curious if it had a tuner in.
Multi-band radio, and I think the SWRs are good. The G5RV Junior is up as a inverted V.
Okay, all right, fine. Put a choke on it. You got an extra coax laying around, wrap it around the plastic pipe and choke off some of the RF coming down. The G5RV are famous for imposing RF on the shield, and it gets rolled back into the radio position and can be real problematic. So maybe if you got the extra coax around, you can do something like that. Anyhow, good luck. You got RF coming out of the radio. It's just all chopped up. 7-3.
Very much.
All right. Come on back when you've done some changes. See if we can, I'm certain we'll hear a difference. Take care, Stuart. ECARS Radio on 55. It's 11:42. Who else is out there?
Here are Delta Lima.
All the weak ones are in here today. You're a Delta Lima. Come on in.
Well, good morning, Dave. Rob and Stu at 38 here at Delta Lima. Oh, it might be almost 3 minutes. Good morning to you. Wish your wife happy Mother's Day for me. Hard copy, Dave. Over.
Well, the band condition's in really great shape, but the propagation does not seem to be equally as good for the further out stations. Bob, I actually heard what I thought was some NVIS support from a friend only about 50 miles north. He was quite strong, so I think the band is starting to come back a little bit, but not soon enough. Very fine. Go ahead, make a transmission.
Okay, very good. Yeah, unfortunately, lost you from the stage, but I got what you said to me. But very
NX8C for a radio check.
Have a good weekend, like you did with your wife. Happy Mother's Day for me and all that good stuff. 73s have a really good weekend. We'll try to do like that. Thanks a lot, Dave.
NX8C for a radio check.
Yeah, okay. All right, Bob, very good. Thank you very much. Appreciate you checking in today. I think we have a mother trying to check in here. So this is ECARS. This is Dave at WA3GIN, and we're happy to have you check in. So why don't you tell us all about yourself? N88C.
I think it had an X-ray in it.
Yeah, I thought it was NX8C.
Hi, this is NX8Z. I was just, I'm sorry, I think I can only hear half of the conversation, so I'm sorry if I talked over somebody. I was just looking to see if I could get a radio check. We did some changes to my antenna here.
Okay, could we get your name and location, please?
Sure. I'm Jody, Jody, and I'm located in Augusta, West Virginia.
All right, very good. Well, you could do a commercial for you know, the what do they call that when travel to West Virginia and vacation here? So they haven't done one on ham radio. Very fine. I'm copying you at about a 5.7 to 5.8. since I've never talked to you before, I have no idea how that compares with what you had before. We're in the northern neck of Virginia here, about 90 miles east of the, west of the Atlantic Ocean. So that's the story there. The audio is clean, and like I said, signal's about 7 or 8. Over.
Can we get a clarification on the call sign, please, NJ2US?
Okay, that's fantastic. I didn't catch your call sign or your name, and where you're located at, please.
Boy. This is WA3 Golf India November, WA3GIN, King George, Virginia, King George, on the southern shores of the Potomac River. Let's see. So there you have that. Over. And give us your call phonetically, please.
Okay, sure. I think I copied that. That was Whiskey 3, G as in golf, I as in indigo, N as in November. You can correct me here in a minute if I'm wrong. Is N November? Mine is November X-ray 8 Zulu.
Wow, it went from a Charlie to a Victor to a Zulu. All right, we got it now.
Okay, thanks again. I'll sign out for now, and thanks again for your time. NX8Z.
Okay, fine. Ooh-wee. Okay. There you go.
Indeed.
And on ECARS, WA3GIN, listening for stations.
Kilo 3 Delta Papa Tango.
All right, W1BAH and K3DPT, BAH. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Just checking in to say hi. The first time in about 4 months I'm not getting killed by noise out here. Name is Doug, Delta Oscar Uniform Golf, and located in the middle of Illinois. You're doing a nice job out here. Just send me your copy email. Go ahead.
Okay, what's the name?
Name is Doug, Delta Oscar Uniform Golf. Go ahead.
And the location is definitely not in one land. Where are you?
Definitely not. No, Central Illinois. About a half hour south of Peoria, about a half hour north of the capital, Springfield.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, Doug, thanks for checking in with us from Illinois, Central Illinois. And have a great Sunday there. Next on the list, Kilo 3, Delta Papa Tango, Mr. Annapolis. Come on in.
Good morning, Dave. K3DPT, Tim in Annapolis. Happy Mother's Day to everybody listening. I was looking at Jeff's live stream on the computer while I was listening to the ICOM, and I'm noticing a lot of many different stations swishing their VFOs up and down the band. I wonder if you've ever looked at that. Some of them have horrendously large carriers. Go ahead.
Yeah, we've seen that. I'm not sure what it is. Could be military. And hard to know, really. Aliens. Who knows? They never stop. They never check in.
I see them go by, and they have a little blip like an identifier when they stop at this frequency, at least on Jeff's receiver. Just curious. Killing a little time here before I go out and play in the yard. Hope everything's good for you. Hope everybody enjoys Mother's Day. And I wonder if you have heard Rudy on the air lately.
Okay. Yes, thank you very much for the good wishes. Same to you guys. I have not heard him on the 3 nets that I have operated this past week. I can't remember what he was up to. I'm not sure if he went down south on vacation. That's sort of in the back of my head, but I don't remember, so I can't say for sure.
All right, just wondering. You know, we're all getting older. I'll stand by. K3DPT.
All right, real good. I'll tell you one thing, Tim. I'm real happy with that Lumi we got. That thing that cooks cooks up your garbage. That makes the best fertilizer. We've been spreading it around on the lawn, and I'll tell you, the grass has never been greener. It's pretty amazing.
I need something that reverses it, keeps it from growing.
It's called a spray tank with some gasoline. That'll stop it real quick. All right, buddy. Have a great day. Enjoy. ECARS Radio on 55.
Whiskey Bravo 8, Bravo Hotel Kilo.
That's KD1H.
Okay, I got BK, I got WB8, BHK. Who was the other one?
Kilo Delta 1 Hotel.
All right, KD1H. Anybody else? WB8, BHK. Come on in.
Yeah, Roger. Very good afternoon. Is it afternoon? I don't know. No, I guess it's still morning. I don't have a clock in front of me. Good day to you. The name here is Herb, Henry Echo Roger Baker, and we're located in Mount Gilead, Ohio, about an hour north of Columbus, Ohio. And I picked up a used rig yesterday, and you're the third contact on it. But if I may, I'd like to do a quick. The guy gave me two microphones with it, and I don't know which one sounds better. Obviously, I'm on this end, you're on that end. So if I may, I'm on microphone number one. I'd like to switch to microphone number two, and you just tell me. I don't need a real critical, bandwidth or anything like that. Just which one sounds better. Go ahead.
Make it.
Okay, this is microphone number two. I was on microphone one. This is microphone number two. And he actually gave me a different hand mic. But anyway, we'll just worry about these two for the time being. So which one is a little more melodious? Which one's gentler to the ear? Go ahead.
Okay, very good. Herb. You're my first Herb in a long time. The second one had more docile tones to it, I would say. Here, listen for yourself.
One sounds better, obviously. I'm on this end, you're on that end. So if I may, I'm on microphone number one. I'd like to switch to microphone number two, and you just tell me. I don't need a real critical, bandwidth or anything like that. Just which one sounds better. Go ahead. Okay, this is microphone number two. I was on microphone one. This is microphone number two. And he actually gave me a different hand mic. But anyway, we'll just worry about these two for the time being. So which one is a little more melodious? Which one's gentler to the ear? Go ahead.
All right, there you go. What's your choice?
Well, probably number two, but they're awfully close. So either one will work. One's a hand mic and one's a desk mic. And I wasn't sure that one of them even worked at all. However, I was getting some meter deflection in the ALC, so I just wanted to make sure it wasn't distorted or anything like that. But I'd say they're both pretty close, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think they're fine. Either way's fine. So you're good. What is the radio?
It's a TS590S, 590 sugar, and I'd like to put this in the log. I didn't get your call. I think it's K3DQP. Is that a Roger?
No. Whiskey, America 3, Germany, Italy, Norway, WA3GIN. So, pretty interesting. The N3JQJ scenario is sticking in people's minds, which was several check-ins previous.
I thank you for the...
And I love the way this stuff gets collected together and compacted. It's great. All right, Herb. I think you're in good shape with that 590. Enjoy the heck out of it.
Put the lid on the paint can and cleaned out the brush. Then took the Sawzall and cut a couple of shrubs out of the front.
Don't go crazy, Jeff.
Shrubs, and they don't... or anything, so we just took a sawzall and a 12-inch blade and cut those suckers off at the ground. Got rid of those, and now I'm going to go in and have something to eat and relax for a bit. So thanks again. Have a great afternoon. Whiskey Alpha 3, Golf India Norway, WBA BHK, clear 7-3.
Okay, great. KD1H, good morning.
Good morning, WA3GAN and the group, KD1H, where it is a beautiful day here in Manchester, Connecticut. Handles Roy Rogowski, Yankee, number 10227 on the roster. Band is not all that bad, but not all that good. It's sure better than it was last week. I couldn't, I got so bad I shut the radio off and went for a walk. I probably should have done that more often. Anyways, I just always stop in and say hello. We haven't started talking in a while. I'm going back to working on Saturdays and Sundays, so my time getting in on the net is going to be held off until weekdays, and then hopefully we'll be returning back in the fall. With that, I'm going to send it back to you. I don't know how we're making it today. We're on the 891, but playing around, actually looking for, believe it or not, 6-meter repeaters and loading them in. So if I put this in the car, we have something extra to play with. Anyways, back to you. WA3GIN KD1H.
All right, Roy, sounds like fun. You know what else is a lot of fun? 10-meter FM. If you ever get a chance to operate some of that, it's really nice. You don't have to worry about noise, electrical noise, spark plug noise, and things like that typically. Take care. Have a great day. And thanks for checking in with us.
Yeah, good. You're sounding great, Dave.
I appreciate it. I don't feel that good today. My left eye is just screaming at me. Something got in there earlier this morning, and it's just like a toothpick stuck in there. It's really something. Take care, Roy. ECARS Radio on 55, and it's 58 minutes after the hour on Mother's Day here, 2023, Sunday for your retirees. WA3GIN listening. Look at that, no sympathy check-ins or nothing. Unbelievable. ECARS Radio.
KC1, Mike Tango Mike. And this is not a sympathy check-in. Over.
KC1, Mike Tango Mike. Come on in.
You cut me up. Wait for my over. I said this is not a sympathy check-in.
Oh, well, okay. Thank you for that.
Well, you sound a little scratchy today, but otherwise you're good. The conditions seem to be up and down. I wanted to mention, I heard that woman, Jody, November X-ray 8 Zulu from Virginia, West Virginia, rather. She was a little light, but a good Q5 copy. And let's see, what else? I guess there was something else I wanted to tell you, Dave, but I forgot. Over.
That's okay. We'll pick it up on the next one. Thanks for jumping in here today. Anything planned?
Oh, I'm going to plant some peas today and maybe some spinach. I did the tilling yesterday. The weather forecast is we're going to get frost sometime next week. So from 80 to 32, eh?
Oh, my. Wow, you keep it up there. I'm done with that for a while, I hope. All right, Joe. You do what you have to. Get those vegetables in the ground and have a great week, okay?
Thanks, Dave, and you too, brother. I hope you get that thing washed out. Get yourself an eye cup and get busy on there. 7-3, Dave. Have a good one. 7-3, and happy Mother's Day to everyone. I'm clear.
All right, thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm headed for the couch on the porch. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks very much. Hope you all have a great day. Be well. Be nice. Your new net control is NJ2US, Jeff, with the superstation over there at Cape May, New Jersey on the Atlantic. So give him your undivided attention, and he'll give you a really good ride. See y'all later. WA3GI and clear. Over to you, Jeff.
Thank you, Dave. Hey, a couple agenda items before you run. Great net, great shift, by the way. And I love how you take the ribbon. Listen, two things. First off, question about your power grid. I've noticed here in just the past couple months, I've had wide variations on my utility service here, anywhere between 115 volts and 123 volts. Usually it goes up over 120 volts late in the evening into the late night hours, and during the day, right now, it's hovering about 116. For as many years as I've been here, it has been 120 rock steady. Have you ever seen that kind of variation at your end?
Yeah, we see it all the time here. Right now, for example, it's 125. At least Dominion Power, they jack up the voltage in the country so that they can keep it relatively good in the city, up in the northern part of Virginia. So the path up through the rural counties, they usually run us a little bit hotter. So we have seen that pretty regularly. Go ahead.
Yeah, but so I understand. I believe the utility tolerance is, I think it's as much as 6%. So I get it. They're within spec. I think what's weird is I've never seen this variation before. I have UPSs here. There's 3 in a row. They're 1,500 watt UPSs, and they all have line voltage monitors on them, and they're all right in sync with each other, all at the same voltage. And it just, it's just recently I've noticed this delta from daytime to nighttime, and 123 is the highest I've seen here. So, okay, very good. Second thing, if you don't mind, have you given much more thought to the TGXL tuner from Flex, or you're certainly going to wait for that HF auto to come back?
Well, yeah, of course that thing is a dream machine. That's what I thought Alpha was going to come out with, and they never did, unfortunately for them. But, yeah, that thing is just, I love Pi Networks. That's what I used to build all the time. And I guess they used to call it Universal Circuit or something. That is the way to go. And that's how you get 10 to 1 matching. Although one would have to ask, what are you doing if you have to go 10 to 1? What is it that you need so badly that you have to match 10 to 1? So, anyhow, on the voltage thing, the only other thing that brought close to mind was center tap changing and a transformer that's feeding the street, or because that sounds almost load dependent, sort of like the nighttime load versus the daytime load kind of thing. So something could be degrading at the substation or at your what do you call it there, at your step down transformer, and they don't tighten those things up regularly like we do our coax connectors, and they do start to build up a little bit of resistance. So it could be something like that.
Yes, and that's kind of where I was heading. I was looking for the yellow danger signs here that something is afoot in terms of the circuit. I may inquire to the utility. They were absolutely responsive when I reported a noisy transformer here. I sent an email, an online form, honest to God, on a Monday. Tuesday afternoon, they were out there, replaced the whole transformer, and then the next day sent me a thank you message for submitting a form reporting radio frequency interference. Can you believe that?
Well, those kinds of responses of customer service are usually due to an individual rather than from the top down, but sometimes, rare occasions, companies, smaller companies, cooperatives, it's from the top down because that guy didn't get to the top. He worked his way up there, and so Daddy didn't give it to him. So, yeah, I do believe that can occur. Maybe what you want to do is send him an email and ask him for a voltage recorder, put it on there for a week or so and see what's going on.
Thank you. That's actually an excellent suggestion. I'm going to do that because I don't want a failure at the last minute. I mean, I have a generator here, but certainly don't want to run that 24/7. And I believe the tolerance should be tighter than this wide range between 115 and 123. All right. Hey, Pi Network. Yeah, 10 to 1. Don't use it up there, but I'll tell you where it also excels, as you know. Lower impedances, things below 50 ohms. Pi Network's better than that, than any type of like a differential T or those L networks.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I'm thinking about it. I gotta wait for Dayton. if Kenwood doesn't come out with a new radio, maybe I'll have that extra money for a coupler, and we'll just flip the HS Auto now that it has a seal of approval and all updated stuff. He said he was going to update the whole thing, so we'll see. And what you want to do is you want to get him in there quick, because what you don't want to have happen is for the neutral to pop off. And because I think, I'm not sure, but I think if that neutral pops off, your UPSs are not going to protect you.
No, you're absolutely correct, and that's my fear, of course. So I am going to let them know, because this is different, and I'll see what kind of response they give. And based on their response to my noise complaint from one of their polls, I expect to get similar results. We'll see. Thanks a lot, Dave, and have a good day. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
All right, get that toothpick out of your eye. WH3GIN, NJ2US ECARS. Any mobiles wishing to check in? How about mobiles? Listen carefully. Any relays? All right, we'll take a list of check-ins from anybody, anywhere, East Coast Amateur Radio Service. Gentlemen, if you could please, your full call sign phonetically would be a big help. NJ2US ECARS.
Whiskey 2, Romeo, Juliet, Oscar, Mobile.
Wow. Whiskey 2, Echo, Mike, Fox, John.
Kilo 4,
Electro, Motorsport, over.
All right, we got Radio Juliet Oscar Sierra Delta Lima, W2 Electromotive Force November Yankee Papa, and Zulu Yankee. Let me run that list rather than grow this one very long. W2 Romeo Juliet Oscar. Go ahead.
This is Whiskey 2, Romeo, Juliet, Oscar, Mobile, John here, ECARS 21235, and located near just east of the city of Utica. Out doing some errands this morning before going back home to do more yard work and landscaping. Cool day today. It's about 58 degrees outside, but bright sunny skies. Just thought I'd check in and say hello.
Thanks, John. Good 5-9 signal. Band's in great condition going your direction from South Jersey. Appreciate your check-in, and good luck getting your chores done today. Happy Mother's Day. 21235 lifetime member. Anything else, John?
That's it. 73s, and happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. 73.
You bet. Thank you, sir. Clear with W2RJO. Next up, Kilo Charlie 8 Sierra Delta Lima. Happy Mother's Day, Rob. Go ahead, Rob.
Sorry about that WC on the bridge. Yeah, band got done really happy today. Week stopping, we kind of come in and out,
You're Q4, about a 4 and 5 for the signal report, Rob. I'm hearing everything. It's just not extremely strong, but it's the band, Rob.
Yeah, I feel it's on. I appreciate that. That's been went on the radio today, doing real good. Well, the Houston, I got it back like I told you. Well, kind of works, but I have no modulation on the transmitter. I got carrier, but no modulation. So I got a friend of mine in Carroll, Michigan, that works on the Kenwood here. Can look at it too. So hopefully we can run the FCC. But I'm not going to give up on it. Over.
Well, okay, Rob, I understand. Yeah, well, listen, there are vintage equipment and classic gear like that sometimes needs a little bit extra attention, and those components do age. Rob, take care, 73, 8453 lifetime member, and it was a good copy that last time around. Clear with KC8 SDL, NJ2US. Next up is Whiskey 2, Electromotive Force. Good afternoon, Al.
Good afternoon, Jeff. This is W2 Electromotive Force in New Waterford, Ohio. ECARS number 29015. And it was very interesting listening to the discussion of line voltages and stuff like that. When we lived in Pennsylvania, I don't remember the name of the power company, but they had a policy that if you used electricity later than 9 o'clock at night, the cost was less. provided by the power company with no strain. And the guy that built the house that we lived in took advantage of that by putting in some like radiator type things that had bricks in them so that you could turn on the power after 9 o'clock at night and get it a little cheaper. And it worked out very well. I don't know how much money we saved by doing that, but those radiators with the bricks in them would be warm all night long because they turned on like 9 o'clock at night, and they heated those bricks up for a couple of hours, and then they turned the power off, and the bricks kept the house warm all night. It was an impressive experience because of fairly complex control systems with those radiators. So it's a lot of fun watching them operating automatically. And I'm not going to hold it any longer just because I know you're going to get me back for talking too long here. So I'm going to turn it back to you so you can acknowledge what I said about the power system. It's amazing the stuff that you learn when you're listening to ECARS. You never know who's going to come up with something new. So, sound free, Jeff, and I'm going to turn it back to you and listen here. NJ2US, W2 Electro Motorsports, saying Happy Mother's Day to all. 97.3 to everybody on the system. Out.
Thank you, Al. Appreciate your comments about the electrical grid and some of the frugal methods fellas use to keep their families warm and take advantage of pricing incentives. Totally understandable. I first noticed I was having an issue a couple months ago when my ACOM 2008 amplifier started warning me that my filament voltage was too high. But only by a little bit. It wasn't a major failure. It was a warning that, hey, check your filament voltage. And sure enough, it was running up about 13.4 volts. And a deeper dive, reading through the manual, said this is normally caused by slightly higher than normal line voltages. So, of course, my primary 120 volts. When it went above 123 volts, 122, 123 volts, the filament voltage went up accordingly. And that's when it was setting off the warning. And, of course, in the daytime, I never saw that warning. I only saw it late in the evening when I was watching my line voltage climb above 122 volts. So, that's... like I said, it's always been stable here. In the 15, 16 years I've had this electrical system coming in from the poles, the utility poles, it's been 120 rock steady. Never saw it go up and down. Now, not to say I didn't see 119 or 121 every now and again, but it seemed to be very well regulated. So we'll check into it. Dave had some very good suggestions, and we'll make sure that, if that's the nature of the service, then fine. But if something is going wrong in my neighborhood, I'm going to want the utility to know about that. Al, thank you so much for your comments. Have a great day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody important in your life. Appreciate you being there. Let me move on here before I digress more about electrical systems. W2EMF signed, NJ2US next up, November 2, November Yankee Papa. W2 November Yankee Papa. Sorry, Bruce, go ahead.
Oh, it's okay, whatever your call sign is up. I could digress for hours about our underground systems and unbalanced loads and transformers behind bushes catching fire, but I won't. So good afternoon, Jeffrey. Hope you're well. Happy Mother's Day to everybody involved in your family, my friends, and do have an absolutely pleasant week.
Thank you, Bruce. Same to you and yours. And electrical, we rely on it so heavily, but it is fairly technical. Delivering that kind of energy over wires to distant locations is an interesting industry. And I can say that my company does quite well, Atlantic Electric. I could not believe how quickly they responded to my. I did it I just went online. They had an online form to report problems or observations, and I did that. And I made observations, ham radio operator, I'm seeing interference. I went out with a transistor radio, and I found the pole that I suspect is the source of the noise. And the next day, they came out, 2 trucks, and fixed it. And then sent me an email the next day saying, thank you for the report. Hopefully your issue's being corrected. Please let us know if you have any additional problems. You know, it just seems counterintuitive to what ham radios experience when they're dealing with line noise. But then, Bruce, it was explained to me that to an electric company, noise represents loss, and loss equals dollars. Over.
Provider owners will tell me the same thing. And my good thing is every Sunday at 12 p.m. my Generac starts, which reminds me that A, I have it, and B, to call Jeff.
Yeah, I have the Generac here too. I think we jested about the fact that when they put it in, it would do its check late in the afternoon on Friday, which I thought was the wrong time to find out that you were having a problem with your generator. So I switched my test time till Monday morning so that I had all week to get it fixed, Bruce. Thanks, Bruce. Take care. Yeah, I didn't do Sunday because we're usually out and about in the mornings, and just generally when I'm in the net, I would not. No, Monday morning, I'm always in the office, and the generator's right outside the window, so I have a reassurance there. Thanks, Bruce. 21013 lifetime member. We'll move on here. Fun Sunday. Let's see. Zulu Yankee.
Is a Kilo 4 Echo Zulu Yankee?
Well, it sure is.
I guess that'd be me, Jeff. K4EZY, Rocky down in Apex, North Carolina. We got about 71 degrees and clear skies, and I'm experiencing a little line noise myself, and I've called the town about it who maintains the lines, and actually I've had this problem before, and they thank me because they do lose money off of it. Over.
Yeah, and it makes perfect sense to me. When the power's not flowing properly down their grid and in their network, it's they're losing it as heat, or wherever it's going, it's not going to a customer, and it doesn't spin the meter faster.
Yeah, that's true. They lose money. They don't like that. But anyway, appreciate it. 40173 for the number. Happy Mother's Day and goodbye. And 73 for Kilo 4 Echo Zulu Yankee.
Thank you, Rocky. Happy Mother's Day. 40173 checks good. Thank you for being a lifetime member of ECARS. Clear with Apex, North Carolina. K4EZY, NJ2US. Clearing the list. Any mobiles, please? Mobiles for ECARS.
November Echo 2 Bravo mobile.
November Echo 2 Bravo mobile. Go ahead.
Yes, good morning. My ECARS number is 21215. I'm here just outside of Binghamton, New York. Very nice day. Running my new antenna. I'm a mobile here. It's UHV6 Comet. And I was just wondering if I was making it in good today.
Yeah, Q5 copy, Brian. I'd say you're generating a very efficient transmission with that new Comet antenna. It's a good, solid signal down here. Anybody else have a report for Brian in the mobile with a new mobile antenna? Well, I hear you just fine, Brian. Thank you for checking in.
Well, thank you. Where are you located?
I'm in Cape May County down in South Jersey, Brian.
South Jersey. All right, well, thank you. You have a nice day, and happy Mother's Day to any mothers that are listening. This is November Echo 2 Bravo 73.
All righty. Hey, here's a clip returning to you of what you sound like at my station.
Well, thank you. You have a nice day, and happy Mother's Day to
That's a good copy down here, Brian.
All right, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Any other mobiles for ECARS? November Juliet 2 Uniform Sierra.
Charlie 1, Bravo, Juliet, Golf.
All right, Ken, for the mobile, Kilo Echo 8, Kilo Whiskey. How you doing?
Hey, not bad, Jeff. Hopefully same for you. And signal report for the previous fella, 5-7 in northern New Hampshire. And I got to tell you, I had a visit from an ECARS member at the shop last week. That was a pretty interesting thing. Over.
Oh, no kidding, Ken. Who was the stranger?
His name is Steve, and I want to say McCarthy or McCarty.
From up by Concord somewhere. I don't recall his call.
I see. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to just do a quick search of the database and see if I can figure out who Steve is. But you said maybe McCarty is the last name?
Yeah, McCarthy, something along that line.
And he was from where?
Out by Concord, Central, out by the capital of New Hampshire over.
All right. Well, we have a Ralph out in Ohio. So you said it was definitely a Steve. Let me see how many Steves come back. That might be a little bit tricky. But he just said he was an ECARS member, huh?
Yeah, he had recalled for me a conversation between the three of us when I was out in Michigan. You and I were talking. It was previous to the treaty between us and the Cadiddle Hoppers, and so I was sitting in Michigan talking to you, and he came in and we had a good conversation, and he looked me up online on QRZ and saw my comment about working where I work, and he figured it out, and he was in for his second pair, dropping off his pair that he got in 1968 for me to repair. Over.
Oh, no kidding. Well, that's fantastic. Well, I have a likely candidate, seeing as this is the only Steve I have from New Hampshire, would be November 1, Juliet Hotel, Juliet, and it's been some time since he checked in. It was May of 2020, but that's Steve from Concord. His last name began with an M. I could look him up here on QRZ real quick and just see if we can narrow this down. November 1, Juliet Hotel, Juliet. Well, Steve Jones, so I don't know about that, but that's a good possibility.
You know, I'll figure it out and give you better information. I meant to look. He told me that he had emailed me. I meant to look and see if I could find his call, but failed to do that. Going to get my antenna up. Going to put my wires together for my driven elements today and the ground radios, and then tomorrow I'm going to stick that bad boy up in the air. Over.
Awesome. Looking forward to hearing it from the fixed location, Ken. And good luck. Have fun. Be careful when you're out there goofing around outside, and happy Mother's Day.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, it's a tough one for me today, Jeff, but yeah, thanks. And I'll let you get back to the net, KE8KW Mobile.
Yes, sir. I fully understand, and I'm sorry. Yes, indeed. And, of course, many of us, similar situation, and I know we've chatted about that, and I do know that, Ken, you were so lucky you were able to get out there and spend some time with Mom. And yeah, so a special remembrance for those of us who have lost our moms, myself included. Thank you, Ken.
You bet. Have a great day, Jeff. We'll be listening.
All right, KE8KW Mobile. Next up, KC1 Bravo, Juliet Golf.
Hi there, Jeff. Surprising you're hearing me today. Antenna's not being good. Happy Mother's Day. ECARS number 10405, Roger.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Your signal report 4 and 5 here in Cape May. It's not extremely strong, but it's readable with very little difficulty, and I'd say you're doing okay, even considering the band is not cooperating that much. Lifetime member 10405, Joe. Anything else?
No, sir. I just realized I'm only putting out about 31. Thank you for hearing me. Have a good week. Talk to you soon.
Okay, well, considering the power level, you're doing quite well. Joe 73, KC1, Bravo, Juliet Golf, November, Juliet 2, Uniform Sierra. Any other check-ins for ECARS?
November 1, 3 Charlie Golf Hotel, 30876.
K3 Delta Papa Tango.
Kilo Delta 2,
Papa Sierra.
All right, listen up. I think only one fell through the cracks, fellas. I have Fox Golf November, Charlie Golf Hotel, Delta Papa Tango, Kilo Delta 2 Yankee, and Mike Papa Sierra. Does anybody else want to get on this list?
Kilo Charlie 8, Charlie Oscar India. 3 Charlie Golf Hotel.
CGH, I'm sorry, I do have you. You were the second one I called out, Mike. Got you. Charlie Oscar India. Who was the other two?
AD2, Delta Papa Oscar.
Alpha Delta 2, Delta Papa Oscar. Thanks. Let's hold the list right there. November 1, Foxcroft, November. Good afternoon, Leroy.
Good afternoon, Jeff. Thanks for picking me up. We have 69 degrees up here in West Suffield, Connecticut. A nice, beautiful sunshine. A little bit of breeze there. Over.
Yeah, 68 degrees here. Sunny day. Nice day at the shore. Light and variable winds. Chamber of Commerce weekend. We had a little bit of rain yesterday, but today the sun is shining. Leroy, 1814 lifetime member. Enjoy your day.
Okay, you too, Jeff. Take care. N1 FGN. We'll be clear.
All righty. Next up, Whiskey Bravo 3, Charlie Golf Hotel. Hello, Mike.
Yeah, good morning, Jeff. WB3CGH here in northern Michigan. Can't say it's paradise today. It's 57 and cloudy. And high today of about 62 degrees. So I think we're about reached our maximum today. So anyway, just good morning to you. Glad to hear you're on this morning.
Thanks, Mike. Sounding good. 5-8 signal here in the Cape May. Sorry about the chilly, overcast day. Hope you get the sunshine soon. 3087673, Mike. Take care. Appreciate you checking in. Next up, Kilo 3 Delta Papa Tango.
Good afternoon, Jeff. K3DPT. Did I hear you say you run your ACOM on 120?
No. What I was saying that, of course, if you're monitoring your line voltage coming out of a standard outlet, you're looking at 120 volts. You're doubling that with your 240 to 250 volt circuit is what I was saying. So, any increase there is certainly higher on the 240 side.
Yeah, okay. I run mine off 240. It's a dedicated 240 line. Nothing else to report. Have a nice Mother's Day. 204 on the roster, and hope everybody's enjoying the day. K3DPT.
Yeah, mine's on a dedicated 240 circuit, but at times, that when the line voltage is going up to 126 volts, 125 volts, it's up there, 250 over on that side, and the ACOM is sensitive to the voltage, especially the heater voltage.
I monitor the output, and I monitor the temperature. The temperature coming off the tubes is about the only thing I ever look at. I'll start checking the rest of it. Thanks. K3DPT.
Yeah, you look at the manual. There actually in the group's I/O section, there's a very nice explanation of the warning parameters for what the warning circuits in the ACOM are looking for. And as you know, that ACOM has a very extensive set of telemetry monitoring. Just about every component and every voltage and temperature is measured in there. And of course, it'll set off alarms versus shutdowns. And one of the more sensitive ones is the filament voltage, and it'll go yellow at 13.2 volts. It'll cut off. It'll fault out if your filament voltage reaches 14.2.
I'll have to check that one day, see what it does. I don't use it that often, so I'll have to start pushing some buttons and see what the rest of the warnings are and what they're running. Thanks, Jeff. K3DPT.
Right now I'm running a nominal 12.8, which is right in the middle of their green zone, and it goes yellow at 13, and it goes red and shuts down at 14.2. Of course, you can't adjust that in the amplifier. That's a tap on the transformer. So if your line voltage goes up, so goes the the filament voltage. Take care, Tim. Love the amp. I use mine all the time, as you know. 2 power levels here, legal limit, and off. 204, lifetime member, K3DPT. Next up, Kilo Delta 2 Yankee.
Yes, sir. Thank you for picking me up, Jeff. Yeah, this is Kilo Delta 2 Yankee X-Ray Echo, Mike, upstate New York. ECARS number 21175. It's a little bit too late now to report, but I couldn't quite find a time to break in and let that fellow in Binghamton know that I was doing very well. Very crisp clear. He was running about a 7 here on Onondaga Hill, upstate New York. If he's still listening, maybe he does, maybe he can't hear me. But also, yes, voltage fluctuations have been happening here too. I had my garage fluorescent lights would take a while to come on and off, and then I did a voltage. Actually, I changed the ballast first, figuring, well, okay, it's only one doing it. And afterwards, I looked at the voltage instead of being 120, it was like 115, 118, somewhere there. And that particular balance was just wanted to be right where it was supposed to be to light those tubes. Okay, well, I just thought I'd share that with you. And right now, we've got a nice sunny day here, and very windy and pleasant. KD2YXC.
Thanks, Mike. Good anecdotal information, actually, so I do appreciate that. And, yeah, right now I'm sitting at 116, which is nominal in the daytime, but starting about 7 p.m. tonight, it'll start to climb up, and I'll see 123 volts by midnight. Now, what's odd about that is I never saw that before. I think that was my whole point, right? I mean, I understand if I was living here and I always saw that 6% variation. It's just odd now because it never varied. I mean, it was rock steady, 120 volts, daytime, nighttime, didn't matter. It's like the path the electricity is taking to my location now is different from what it was for the past decade, and suddenly it changed sometime this year. So that's what's causing me to just scratch my head a little bit. Mike, thanks for the info. 21175, lifetime member, Syracuse, New York, and that report would have been for Brian, November Echo 2 Bravo. I believe he was put a new Comet mobile antenna on there. Brian, are you still here? Well, just thought I'd check. Thanks, Mike. Take care. Clear with KD2YXE. Next up, Mike Pappas here.
Yeah, Roger. NJ2US and the ECARS net. This is W4MPS. Mark in Clayton, North Carolina, number 40321. Very good afternoon to everybody. Just back from Arizona. Had a wonderful trip out there. Perfect weather, and in addition to seeing friends and family, I was able to activate 3 parks and had fun doing that out in the desert, and met NJ7 Victor, who's a popular podcaster. Was able to do a dual activation with him. Charlie, a really nice guy. So glad to be back, and just wanted to say hi to everybody. NJ2US in the net, W4MPS.
Hey, Mark, so glad to hear you had such a nice trip out there. That sounds fascinating. 40321, and I've only been out there a few times, ironically, always on business, never out there on a vacation. Well, no, that's not true. I did go to the Grand Canyon, my first honeymoon back in 1984. So there was that. Mark, have a great day, 73.
Thank you, Jeff. There's a fantastic little airport in Sedona, if you've never gone up to the Red Rock country, and it's right at a plateau, and you can fly right in there, and it's the most fantastic view you've ever seen in your life. So I hope you get out there one day. 7-3 for now from W4MPS.
Oh, Mark, I can't help but comment on that. My ex-wife, who's a dear friend to this day, gets along great with the present wife. It's the mother of my daughter. Again, when we went out there a couple times on the honeymoon, we toured the state of Arizona. I was a licensed pilot at the time, and I convinced her to make the side trek to Sedona to go look at that airport in person. I've never flown in there, but very familiar with the Plateau Airport. A lot of cool YouTube videos of fellas flying in and out of that airport. Very, very scenic indeed, and you can look at it from downtown Sedona. Very cool, Mark. Thanks for the memory.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, very special place. I always enjoy it. 7-3, Jeff.
73, Mark. W4MPS, NJ2US. Next up, Kilo Charlie 8, Charlie Oscar India.
Hey, Jeff. I hope you're doing well today, and things are going good here in southern West Virginia. Hey, speaking of the power grid, we got a big help on our power grid situation a few years back when they put in a water treatment plant out down the road behind me, way back out to the edge of the ridge, and they pumped water out of the Bluestone River up to that treatment plant, and that's why we have city water here. So they pumped in that and upgraded our power grid to accommodate the water treatment plant. and that really benefited us. I still have my well operating. I have it solely hooked up to my outside water, but that benefited us in two ways. We got our power grid upgraded, and we have treated water. So that worked out pretty good for us. That's a long way to pump that water up out of the Bluestone River all the way up that ridge, but that's what they do, and we benefited from that. Anyway, back to that, Jeff. KC8CY.
Well, power is a fascinating subject, right? We take it for granted sometimes, I think, except when it's gone, right? And one of the first investments I made here was that generator. One of the most useful utility upgrades to the property here, because I live along a long county highway, and inevitably, on a regular basis, somebody takes down a pole and brings down the utility lines, and I'm without power for most of the day while they get a crew out there to put a new pole up. So, Ted, very good. Thanks for sharing your info. Happy Mother's Day. Have a good day.
Yeah, thanks for picking me up, Jeff, and to everyone out there, have a great day. And I guess my daughter and grandkids are coming up. They're going to do a bunch of flower stuff for the wife and her landscaping there, and all I have to do is haul around those 50-pound bags of mulch they sent me after, so I guess I'll have to wrestle them things around. Good one, Jeff. KC8CY.
Thanks, Ted. 73. Appreciate it, and good luck. Enjoy the holiday. Let's see. Next up, was there an Alpha Delta 3 Delta Papa Oscar?
JD2 Delta Papa Oscar.
Okay, is that Kilo Delta 2 Delta Papa? I'm having a little trouble with your phonetics there, old man. Try it again.
Okay. Kilo Delta 2 Delta Papa.
Okay, and your name and QTH?
Name here is Anthony, and we're in Jamestown, New York.
Anthony in Jamestown, New York. Thanks a lot for checking in. I appreciate it. Good to hear you. We haven't chatted since March of 2021. Anything for the net today, sir?
Yes, we do. I was on 2 meters at East Coast Reflector. I heard somebody from England, and I talking to another fella that the fella gave him a radio. I think he bought it, and it was from JFK, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, and he got pictures of Kennedy using a rate that doesn't work, but that's about it. I'll say simply speak to everybody there, and have a good day and happy Mother's Day.
Well, that's a pretty cool story, Anthony. Thanks a lot for sharing. I appreciate you stopping by here. Good signal. It's about a 5 and 5 down in the Cape May, New Jersey. My name is Jeff, Juliet Echo Fox. Enjoy your Mother's Day, Anthony, and appreciate you stopping by ECARS today. Clearwood KD2 Delta Papa Oscar, November Juliet 2 Uniform Sierra. This is the East Coast Amateur Radio Service. Any mobiles, please? Just the mobiles. Any mobiles?
Whiskey 8 Sierra Uniform November Foxtrot.
All right, I have Whiskey 1 Bravo Foxtrot. I'll assume you're a mobile. Please stand by. If you're not a mobile, we'll figure that out. W8 Sierra Uniform November. Go ahead, Wayne.
Good afternoon, Jeff. I hope you're having a good nap. Roanoke is beautiful today. We are at 78 degrees, nice sunny skies. I like that, W8 sun. And I'm just leaving the pickleball courts. Had a good workout for a couple hours.
That's fantastic, Wayne, and good to hear you and staying very active there, young man. It's awesome. We could all learn something from your daily activity, Wayne, and you really enjoy it. That's the best part. 8439 lifetime member. Safe travels, Wayne.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. Have a great day, and have
happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. W8SN
73, Wayne. Whiskey 1 Bravo Foxtrot, are you a mobile, sir?
Nope. Can't drive anymore. The eyes, over.
All right, I understand that. Let me get you in here nonetheless. We'll extend a courtesy to our young people on the net. We'd like to give the youngsters a good opportunity to check in here, Ed. And you got a nice 5.9 signal from Rhode Island. Anything to report today, sir?
It's a beautiful day here, upper 60s, and I'm going to guess somewhere around 68 or so. And it's supposed to be a fairly nice week. And bank conditions, from what I've been able to observe over the last week or so, have been putrid. This is the best I've heard in a week or so. So hopefully things will be on the upswing. Other than that, we take it one day at a time. Of course, when you're 80 years old, that's the only way you can take it, over.
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right. And one day at a time, and just enjoy it while it rolls by, Ed. And sounds like you're certainly enjoying amateur radio. And have a good day in the shack. And we'll chat with you later on, sir. Appreciate you checking in from Rhode Island with a 5.9 signal. Clear with Whiskey 1 Bravo Foxtrot. And November Julia 2 Uniform Sierra. Any other mobiles, please? Any relays? Alrighty then, let's take check-ins from anybody anywhere. November Julia 2 Uniform Sierra ECARS.
Kilo 3 Mike Zulu Mike.
WA1 Echo X-Ray Alpha.
All right, I got a Kilo 3 Mike Echo Zulu Bravo. Hello, Rick. WA1 Echo X-Ray Alpha. Anybody else want to get on this list? All right, Michael, W8 Lima Delta Mike, we got you on the list. Let's go to the top. Kilo 3 Mike, your full call sign, please.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Hello, Jeff. This is Kilo 3 Mike Zulu Mike. Name's Jason. I'm in southwestern Pennsylvania. Probably the last couple times I would have checked in here in ECARS, I would have been mobile in somewhere. But for a change today, I'm sitting at home kind of recuperating from a couple of rough weeks at work. So I'm not going to do a whole bunch today. It's kind of nice out. I'm not sure where my dogs are scattered across. I think a few are in here sacked out. A few are outside on the property, probably wandering around. Looks like there's one on the porch taking a nap. And I guess I'm going to go out and maybe cut some grass, maybe play on the radio, but that's about it today. So thanks for picking me up, Jeff. Good luck squaring away your power problem, and I'll catch you again sometime. This is K3MZM, 73s for now.
Awesome 5.9 plus signal, Jason, from Washington, Pennsylvania. And I love how you painted that Norman Rockwell picture of your furry friends wandering around various parts of the property, indoors and out. You go out and spend some time with them, cut some grass, and clearly you're enjoying the decompression from a busy 2 weeks at work. I can relate to that. Jason, have a great day.
All right, decompression is the exact term. A couple 100-hour work weeks. Take care, guys.
Thank you, Jason. Good luck to you, and get that energy level back up. K3 Mike Zulu Mike with a booming 5.9 plus 15 dB over S9 signal here in Cape May. All right, next up, Kilo 8 Echo Zulu Bravo.
Good afternoon, Jeff, from K8EZB, ECARS 8403, Amherst, New Hampshire. Your signal here today, your usual 5.9 plus 10, but with some occasional QSB effects. Interesting propagation today. Your signal is virtually the only one I'm seeing on the pan adapter on 40 meters. Strange, I don't see that very often. Checking in part today to continue our testing of this .30 Thetis release, and also ask if you have any questions I can answer about how to get that.
Well, I'd be curious to try it out because I did have, I can't remember, I'm drawing a bit of a blank. We got all gummed up between .27, .29, and .30, and I'm pretty sure I had .30 if he had compiled it and actually pushed it out with the MSI. And I remember remarking that I did not have any of the issues people were reporting with DirectX. In fact, Thetis, and now again, I'm sorry, I don't remember if it was .30 or .29. It ran good for about 3 days, and then unexpectedly, with no explanation whatsoever, fired up the PC, and I got the same DirectX error that everybody else was getting, where it had been working great for 2 days, Rick, and it was a head scratcher. And then, of course, Steve pulled down all the releases. A bit of a mystery right now what's going on, but we're going to stay positive about it, that he's still in the mood to compile code and put it up there. I am curious, though, if you still have the MSI for that .30 compiler, even if it includes your improvements.
Well, Jeff, I'm not sure if I have the .msi version. I did clone the entire repository so that I could edit the source code to make the changes I needed to make, and that's the way I approached getting the .30 and installing it on my computer. I did not use an MSI file for that purpose, but I'll take a look at my repository, see if I can find that MSI file, and if so, I'll find a way to get it to you. I have nothing for the net today. K8EZB is clear 73, Jeff.
Of course, I can answer my own question here, and I'm being a little silly about not doing this. I'm just going to look at my downloads folder here because I don't want to erase any of those files. And let me see if I did download, if I did pull a .30 from the repository, and I am looking. Let's see here, 27. Let's see, where's 17? I'm looking for pulling down a dot. By that time, he started to append the release number to the actual MSI file that you downloaded, and I do not see a .30. It looks like the last one that I pulled down was .29. So evidently, when he published .30, he never compiled it. Because .29 was everybody started having the problems with the DirectX. I am now back on .27, which was the last working one. So you compiled .30. No, don't go out of your way, Rick. I'm just going to wait for Steve to compile something new wherever he is. I know he's been making some substantial changes. I was just curious if your version, because you did not mention anything about having DirectX errors, and I'm assuming that's still correct.
Well, Jeff, I'm not seeing any issues at all that I can attribute to this .30 version. I've got some minor side effects from the changes I made, but those have more to do with the ACOM amplifier cat string that gets sent to the radio, and I've already figured out how to fix that, I'm pretty sure. I lost a lot of that previous transmission to QSB, so I'm not sure if I'm answering your question. In any event, I have nothing further. 73.
Rick, allow me to do an antenna switch here out of curiosity. If you're losing that much on QSB, I'm very curious about that. Stand by. Let me switch antennas. All right, I'm on the second antenna. Is this any better or worse? Well, I'm assuming that second antenna was worse. Okay, Rick, thanks a lot. Appreciate 73. Wow, just like that, he lost me. He needs 5.9 plus 20. I'm putting out the legal limit here, 1,450 watts peak envelope power of the band. We must be losing the band. WA1 Echo X-Ray Alpha. Get Mark?
Yes, hello. Good morning, Jeff. WA1EXA here. I didn't notice any difference between those two antennas. It sounded the same to me. Things are kind of quiet here on the Cape. People are starting to come back. It's getting to look a lot like the summer, which is our Christmas. So we're just checking in. I haven't been on for a while, and kind of thought I'd stop by. So other than that, don't have much to say. Back to you, Jeff. WA1EXA.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Yeah, Cape Cod heading into your time of the year. You know, similar for us here at the Jersey Shore. Our tour season, our busy tour season begins here for all the tourists that come down to the boardwalk and the beaches and the South Jersey coastline. We're approaching that time quickly, and it's when most of the locals get to go back in black after shutting down for the winter. And we wish everybody a good season. Mark, 73 to you. Safe travels.
Okay, 73 to you too. I hope you don't have the problems we have here. We only have two bridges to cross over to get down the Cape, and they just finished fixing one. It was shut. So we had backups like you wouldn't believe for a while. But things are getting better. See you later. 73 WA1EXA.
Mark, I grew up on a one-way island called Brigantine, just north of Atlantic City. There was one highway on and off of our island, population 25,000, four-lane bridge. Over the years, of course, it had improved in size and shape, but even in its latest iteration, a four-lane, very elevated structure, every winter it would freeze over and we'd have cars smacking up and tying it up for hours. And during hurricane evacuations, that one bridge on and off our island to this day remains a choke point, Mark, so I can relate.
Yeah, I understand how that. I have relatives that lived on Brigantine, and I remember them telling me about that. Well, we've got two bridges. Both of them were built in 1936 by the WPA, and the state and the feds are trying to figure out how to replace them now. It's owned by the Corps of Engineers, because it goes over the Cape Cod Canal. And they don't want any part of it, but they own it, and they're going to have to change it before the state will take it. So, and it's really narrow. It's 4 lanes, but it's like only 2. So they can get a truck in there, and it really does a job. Okay, 73, see ya. WA1EX. Oh, my number, by the way, is 10075, I think.
Well, very good, Mark, and thanks for the small world reference to Brigantine. I was born and raised there. I worked 28 of my 30-year career in Brigantine. I got my start over in the Atlantic City Police Department, and the dream was to work in the hometown, and I finally was able to transfer over to my home agency, where I worked out the rest of my career for 30 years in Brigantine. Mark, I'm sorry, and I don't mean to hold the net up, but I must, because you mentioned Brigantine, a small island community. You had friends that lived there for some time. I was born and raised there, and finally left the island around 2008, though I still have family back there, so I'm on the island frequently. What were their names? Do you remember?
Yeah, last name was Ciullo, Ciullo. They originally came to Philadelphia, moved to Brigantine. I know that there was Hugo Ciullo and his wife. I think they both passed away now, and the kids. So that's the last name.
Okay, very good. I'll just bounce it around my family here and just see. It doesn't ring the immediate bell, though. More times than I can think where we've discussed Brigantine, people would mention names, and I would immediately recognize them as Brigantine names. Very, very nice, Mark. Thank you for sharing that. Have a great day, and certainly appreciate your lifetime membership status. Your number certainly checks good on the roster at 10075. Have a good day, sir.
Good day. See you later. WA1EX.
All righty, NJ2US ECARS. One more to go on this list. Michael, W8 Lima Delta Mike. Give it a try.
NJ2US, W8 Good afternoon once again, Jeff, and good afternoon to everybody on the net. I had everything shut down. I was sitting on the back deck, and we got an airplane coming right off the airport. And it's out there. So I think that didn't find everything there. So we'll be going out there again now. I am cooking dinner for the XYL. I got a couple of times with the steak. The pecan pie, the bottle champagne. How's that sound? Yeah, thanks, appreciate that. Once again, have a pleasant, peaceful afternoon, and we'll let you again. Take care, my friend. NJ2US, WA out here.
Okay, Mike, great to hear you. Thanks a lot for checking in, and it sounds like you got it all planned out. Happy Mother's Day, 8477. Thank you for being there. Enjoy your day. W8LDM in Marysville, Michigan, November Juliet 2 uniform Sierra, clearing that list. Listen for mobiles again. Any mobiles?
Lima Victor Charlie Mobile.
Lima Victor Charlie Mobile. Hello, Clive. Come on in.
Yeah, Jeff, I just want to say top of the afternoon to you and a happy Mother's Day to your wife. I'm on my way to work, but I got to stop and see my mom first, you know.
Oh, that's great, Clive, and wish her all the best. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you for your greetings, and you have a safe drive, and thanks for being a regular on the check-in. Take care.
Roger. All right, Jeff. No problem, man. Talk with you maybe tomorrow, over.
Looking forward to it, Clive. Have a great day. Clearwood Mobile Station, Kilo 3 Lima, Victor Charlie, November Juliet 2 Uniform Sierra, East Coast Amateur Radio Service. Any check-ins?
Kilo 3 Alpha Charlie.
Whiskey Alpha 2, Alpha Romeo.
Whiskey Alpha 3, November, Fox, Victor.
Hotel Romeo Lima.
Here's the lineup: Kilo 3 Alpha Charlie, and thanks, Bob. Stand by. WA2 Alpha Alpha Romeo. Another Bob. Stand by. Whiskey Alpha 3, November Fox Victor. Hello, Dan. Stand by. We got you in there. And then I have, I think that's Tom up there. Kilo Bravo 1 Hotel Radio Lima. To the top of the list we go. Kilo 3 Alpha Charlie 59 plus.
Yeah, good afternoon there, Jeff. This is K3AC, Bob here in Bucks County, PA. Your next-door neighbor, state-wise anyway. Beautiful signal here into the Delaware Valley. You're peaking at about 25, 30 over. Some QSB. We got a beautiful day here. Same weather as yours, I'm sure. Right now it's about 70, and I think it's supposed to go up to 75 or so. I want to wish all the mothers out there Happy Mother's Day. We got to call my sister out there in Arizona. They are 3 hours earlier than us. They're still not having to deal with daylight savings time in Arizona. So we got to wait a few hours till she gets going there. But we're ECARS number 3660 lifetime, 3660. And otherwise, that's about it. We haven't spoken to you in a while. Had a little medical issue there a couple of weeks ago, landed up in the hospital. And we're out now and recovering, so glad to be back on the air and glad to be able to check in on ECARS again. So I wonder how we sound. We're trying something a little different here. NJ2US from K3AC.
Well, Bob, sorry to hear about the medical issue. Sounds like you're convalescing just fine. A beautiful 5.9 signal from Yardley, Pennsylvania. Good to hear you again. Let's see, it's actually it wasn't too long ago, right? April 9th, so all that happened rather quickly, and it sounds like you're on the mend. But I do appreciate the check-in, Bob. Anything else for us today?
No, that'll do it for me, Jeff. Yeah, I had a fall here in the house the end of April, and thought they would just stitch me up there. I gashed my forehead, but they have a protocol now in the emergency rooms. I assume this is all over. They'll do a scan on you, and they found I had some bleeding around the brain, and they said, we can't let you go home. They shipped me to the trauma unit at another hospital, and they scanned me up and down, and didn't find anything else. So they sent me home, and I got a follow-up in a few weeks for another scan. But anyway, we're still alive and kicking. So, yeah, everybody, be careful. This happened in the house. Excuse me, it wasn't a car accident. I just tripped on something here, and I went down on the floor, and I don't think I passed out, but I hit my forehead, and yeah, it was enough to do it. So, yeah, be careful out there. Stay safe. And thanks for picking us up. We'll let you carry on. 73 there. This is K3AC.
Hey, Bob, very good. And just a quick question. When they scanned and found some internal bleeding, I'm assuming then there was no treatment for that.
What they did was, Jeff, they sent me to the trauma unit. When I got down there, the next day they had a neurosurgeon see me, and they repeated the scan. He said it's a small, it's called a subdural hematoma, which means bleeding underneath the dura, the tissue that lines the brain. He said, no, it hasn't changed. We don't need to drain it out and drill your head or anything. We'll just watch it. And I have to go back for another one in about 2 weeks. And they scanned my whole body. They found a whole bunch of other stuff, kidney stones, gallstones. I had no idea. So I guess in a way it was good that that happened, because I found out about some other things wrong with me. But, hey, I just turned 70, so that's to be expected. So, yeah, I didn't need any surgery, luckily. And these were CAT scans, and they have them, in most hospitals now, and
Doesn't take long. They scan my head, scan my body, and in and out there, and just observe me. And I didn't have, they put me on seizure medication. I didn't have any seizures, but yeah, it was a scary thing. I hope I never have to go through that again. Anyway, thanks for your concern there. Back to Net K3AC.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate that. Well, so glad yours turned out well. I had a close friend of mine grew up. She fell out of a tree when she was about 12 years old and sustained a pretty good head injury. Didn't look bad when it happened to her. I was there. But to this day, she has had epileptic seizures and migraines, all a result of that childhood accident. So, whoa, some things can just, and again, who knows what the treatment was back then. That would have been in the early 70s, perhaps mid-70s. So nowhere near what they have today. Who knows what could have been detected back then and what they may have been able to do for her. So she's still kicking, but boy, she does suffer from occasional seizures. She can't drive because of it, just all from falling out of a tree as a kid. Bob, take care. K3AC, Yardley, Pennsylvania. Thanks for that, Net, the patients there, sharing those stories. It can happen to anybody. WA2 Alpha Radio, please.
That's WA2ARA. Good evening. Good evening. Good afternoon to you there, Jeff. Yeah, this is Bob up here in northeast section of Pennsylvania. I was listening to the other station about his fall and everything else, and what happened to me was I have lung cancer on my right lung, and it's a form of lung cancer from asbestos, but it's not mesothelioma. And back in November when I had one of my scans, the CAT scans, they found a spot on my spine in the back. And winds up being that because of my history of cancer in the colon and also on the lung, that they're going to have to do radiation treatments on that, not on the thing on the back of my spine. It's in its infancy, so they want to take care of it right away. I'm 72 years old, and I've been in stage 4 lung cancer for over 10 years. My oncologist has kept me alive. So, it's just one day at a time. That's all we can do here, Jeff. Beautiful day out here today. We got 63 degrees, and it's sunny. We're not supposed to go up to 65 today. It's supposed to be one of them weeks where temperatures are going up and down and all over the place, and supposed to be a beautiful week with no rain. Thank goodness for that. The rain today is staying south of us, down around down past Interstate 80. So back up to you there, Jeff. WA2AAR.
Hey, thanks, Bob. Hopefully a little bit therapeutic, sharing your experiences there with stage 4 and having survived it for quite some time. It's a testimony to your will to survive, and thank God you got amateur radio. And Bob, it's just always a pleasure to get you checked in here. Absolutely fantastic signal, 5.9 plus. So have a great day, Bob, and you stay well, young man. WA2 Alpha Radio, NJ2US. Break with Bob. He's in Holly, Pennsylvania. If you heard him, next up is Dan, WA3 November, Fox Victor.
Okay, Jeff, WA3NFB here. 30601 is the number, and you switched antennas, I'll bet. Because when I heard you when I called in, you were a lot stronger than you are now, but you went all the way from, I don't know, let's call it S9 Plus to 5x7 or something, and I haven't really been looking at the S meter here. But, Jeff, good to hear you on. Nice day here in this part of Pennsylvania, not a cloud in the sky. And we didn't fly out to breakfast this morning. We did last week, though. We went up to the fundraiser breakfast for Sentimental Journey in Lock Haven and flew, I don't know, I guess 5 airplanes or so up from Quakertown and had a good time up there. I think they served something in the neighborhood of 700 breakfasts, so that was a pretty good breakfast. Most of the folks are locals and drive in, but it was kind of interesting. The field was full of crop dusters from Canada. I forget how many they said they brought down, but the field was just lined with them. And they're going to be spraying trees here in Pennsylvania for, boy, I don't remember what it was now, either lanternflies or gypsy moths or something. Anyway, they're going to be flying over and dusting the trees here for us. And so they were all there for breakfast, and big machines. Boy, those are big machines, those PT-7 powered crop dusters, single engine airplanes, gigantic things. I forget what the tank size is, but they're pretty big. So they're going to be out flying all around Pennsylvania doing that, and they were going to start last Monday. So that's what's going on up here. Sorry to hear about all these guys with health problems. I really feel lucky that I have been in good shape and don't have these issues. My wife's got several health problems, and talk about fall. She in December she went out to get the mail and put one foot on the driveway and one foot in the ditch, and planted her face on the driveway and busted up her glasses and broke her arm and all kinds of stuff just going to get the mail. So I guess there's a lesson here with all this. I guess you can't be too careful, apparently. And our group is going to go out to Franconia Park today for our park outing. So we'll put a few transmitters on there. I think 4 of us, at least 4, are going out. And it's not a Parks on the Air. It's not a registered park. It's a local park. But we do that on night Sunday days. Okay, Jeff, back to you. I guess I had it long enough here. This is WA3NFV.
Yeah, Dan, very good. I appreciate the check-in. Okay, on the flying, I remember used to fly into Pocono, Mount Pocono's airport there for a breakfast they had just about every year. They probably still have it. It's just been a few years since I've gone up there. Mount Pocono, always enjoyed that airport. That was a fun place to fly into, and I think the local EAA there had a regular breakfast that they used to bring. I always grabbed the buddy and we'd go up there together. I hated going to those things by myself, so I always found somebody to fly with me, and it was always very, very enjoyable. And yeah, you got to be careful. You know, the accident is the one that happens that you don't see coming, right? I'll tell you what, it's just, we like to think we're careful in everything we do, but the whole idea of being careful is just being able to look ahead of yourself by 3/4 of a second, right? If you can constantly look ahead at what's in front of you, because the one that gets you, Dan, is the one you don't see coming. That's the one you don't see. You didn't know it was there. It just happens, and you look back and say, what could I have done differently? 73 Dan. 30601 on the ECARS roster. Have a good day, Dan.
Okay, Jeff, we'll see you later. Pocono is a really good fly-in. Kind of lost track of some of the fly-ins during COVID. Of course, they weren't having them. The only problem with going up there to Pocono for that fly-in, it's a really busy airport, and they don't have any taxiway to the runway that's normally in use. So there's a lot of backpacking and a lot of meeting nose to nose, trying to work that out. See you later, NJ2US, WA3NFV.
Dan, you're absolutely right, and that is my recollection. You had to have your head on a swivel as usual, and nice runways, but no taxiways. Crazy. Dan, thanks a lot. WA3NFV, NJ2US. Next up, Hotel Romeo Lima.
Oh, good afternoon, Dave. Kilo Bravo 1. Hotel Romeo Lima. Yeah, you guys are right about the accidents or whatever you want to call it. As they usually happen, you don't even have time to think about them. They happen, and then you think about them after. Over.
Yeah, I analyze that all the time, because I think about, I'm still a young sprite here at 65, and I don't feel like I've aged a lot. Thank God also I'm in excellent health. I don't have any issues. I'm just thankful for that. But I'm also a little more cognizant about, if I break a bone at this point, it's not going to heal as quick as it used to back in the bad old days. And I can remember just every now and again, maybe a couple of years ago, walking up the stairs carrying a plate with a beverage, and missed a step and almost tripped, but caught myself. And I thought, you don't see that coming. You don't see it coming, and it's the accidents that just suddenly appear out of nowhere, and then you have to retroactively examine how they happened. And Lord knows how it can happen in a car. And that's the one subject I hate bringing up is car accidents, because they happen with such frequency, and you think you're safe out there, and then all of a sudden you get blindsided. Crazy stuff, Tom. 10524. You get a 59 signal. Anything else?
No, I'm good, Dave. Hey, good luck with the rest of the afternoon there, and I'll say 7-3s for now.
All right, Tom. Hey, I can't think of a better compliment than to be confused with my good friend Dave, WA3GIN, but it's Jeff, NJ2US.
Okay, check.
All right, take care, Tom. A lot of people get us confused for the life of me. I don't know how, but we must sound similar in such a way. We both have very strong signals. I think that's what it is. Take care, Tom. KB1HRL, 10524 valued lifetime member. That clears the list. Any other check-ins for ECARS?
KD3JUF.
W1AY.
All right, Yankee Juliet, Juliet Uniform Foxtrot and Alpha Yankee. Let's hold the list right there. We'll move it quickly. Yankee Juliet, you're up first.
Call November 8th, Yankee Juliet, Don in Campfield, Ohio. You're coming in here, nice 5-9, Q5 copy. Not quite as strong as you are sometimes, but I'll chalk that up to conditions on 40, which are variable. Anyway, we have a beautiful day going here, 71 degrees, and sunny, beautiful, cloudless skies. So very enjoyable. Wondering how things are on your end there, Jeff. This is N8YJ.
Okay, thanks, Don. 5-9 signal, 84-87. Beautiful day here at the shore. 69 degrees, mostly sunny skies, light and variable winds. Chamber of Commerce weekend, actually. Well, the Sunday is rain on Saturday. It cleared out later in the day, and we have a nice day today. Hey, I wanted to do this earlier with the guy that said my signal was down. He didn't know what antenna I was on. So this is the loop antenna. Let me switch over to that NFED. And here's the NFED. This is the NFED antenna. I'll go back to the loop, and maybe you could give me a comparison. Stand by just a second. And here I am back on that loop antenna. Could you see a difference there, Don?
Huge difference, Jeff. I think we've done this test in the past, and it repeats itself. I had my RF gain up pretty high here to eliminate some of the background noise, so I can't give you an accurate S-level signal drop, but it probably went down from a 5.9 to a 5.7. Go ahead.
Okay, very good. Yes. So it turns out that my all the data I've been collecting on this NFED, it only seems to favor a sliver of the compass through south, somewhere around like 180 to about 230. Generally to the south of me, it gets only a slight edge over this loop. To the north and west, in many cases it does equal, but usually the 600-foot loop on average has been outperforming over greater parts of the compass than that 120-foot. Actually, this is a different antenna from the last time we checked. I lengthened this one back out to be a 160-meter NFED because I use it on 160. And believe it or not, I believe that actually reduced its 40-meter performance substantially for whatever reason. Maybe it's lost in the transformer. Don, thanks for that check.
All right, Jeff. Yeah, you dropped a little bit even on your loop. Probably went down to about a S6, S7, so it might be conditions to some extent, but I think your overall drop in signal level at this location is pretty substantial on the NFED. Yeah, you never know what you're going to do when you start messing around with your antenna length. I added a inverted L for 80 meters, 80 and 75 meters, and I just attached it pretty much on the same coax as my vertical because I didn't have any more coax left here. And it works. It works quite well, but it definitely affected all the other bands on the vertical. That's just the way it goes. I guess if I wanted to have it separated out, I have to run another piece of coax, which is not out of the question. Anyway, thanks for picking me up there, Jeff. I'll let you get on with the net, and it was great talking to you. This is N8YJ.
Don, my only consolation is that I'm running doggone near legal limit power here, 1,450 watts peak envelope power, and I'm sure of the loop antenna system. I can see 80% of it at any given moment from my corner shack here. So I know the wire is elevated, and I know the feed line is going out to it. The standing waves are 1-to-1. So anything that goes wrong, I have to chalk up to conditions and propagation. It's just, it's sheer brute force at this point, and what gets out there. And I'll tell you what, you can't beat Mother Nature when it comes to reliable radio signals. And by the way, midday, the sun directly overhead, and we are at the point of maximum absorption in the D layer here on 40 meters, and that's contributing at least 10 dB of attenuation on HF signals here. That sun is directly overhead. I always wondered what that was in the 70s and 80s, and that midday the band seemed to die a little bit, and now that we understand what happens up there and we can visualize it with tools on the internet, it's that midday absorption just soaks up that D layer. Thanks, Don. N8YJ, appreciate all your assistance. 84, 87. Next up, Alpha Bravo 3, Juliet. It might be Kilo Bravo 3, Juliet Uniform Foxtrot.
You is correctamente Kilo Bravo 3, Juliet Uniform Foxtrot. And I had two things to say, and I forgot the one. Anyway, Ron, who's up in Holly, I think his name is Ron. Your cure for all your ailments is apple pie. Remember that. No, Bob. Yeah. Apple pie is the cure. Second, now I dismembered. Yes, they still have fly-in breakfast at Poconos. And speaking of Poconos, not to mention, well, I'm going to mention it anyway. It's a beauteous day here. It couldn't be any better. I was blowing leaves and I got carried away. I ended up over in the woods. Now, the fallen leaves are natural in the woods. I was at it for half an hour, and I got quite a pile of leaves. And then I ran out of gas. I went to refuel it, and I turned around and looked at my work, and I said, why the hell did I blow the leaves in the woods? Okay, I'm getting senile. I saw the Amazon once, but I never saw the Nile. Anyway, back to net, KB3, JUF.
Charlie, you never miss a trick. I got to tell you, you are sharp as the proverbial tack. And okay on confirming that they still have the fly-in breakfast at the Mount Pocono Airport. A great layout, just no taxiways. I'll have to double-check the aerial view to see if they put taxiway. I'm looking at one image here, and it looks like they do now have parallel taxiways on the runway structure. So I'm going to have to get a better look at this from a different angle. This was a shot taken out of a aircraft from a distance. I'm going to have to go look at the satellite view. But that was one of the predicaments at that airport. Just it's hard to taxi, and you always had nose-to-nose confrontations. Charlie, have a great day. 5-9 signal, and appreciate you being there. KB3, Juliet Uniform Foxtrot, and okay on the apple pie, sir. Absolutely apple pie for what's ailing. Take care. Next up, Whiskey 1 Alpha Yankee.
Yeah, good afternoon, Jeff, W1AY. Well, you're 5 over S9 on the loop, and you're S7 on the NFET. Big difference. And I think people confuse you and Dave by your voice. No problem. So there you go. Please copy 10481 for life, over.
Yeah, I guess we do sound similar. Maybe our families come from similar geographic areas. We have a style of voice, kind of a South Philadelphia influence, I guess. Anybody in this region have similar sounding dialects. It is curious, though. But thank you for that signal report. Yeah, I have definitely noticed that when I brought this NFET back out to be a 160-meter antenna, which is where I use it the most, I did lose performance on 40 meters with it. When it was an 80-meter NFET, I was getting much better performance on 40 meters. So I've constructed another 80-meter NFET. I'm just waiting for a cooler day to get out there to put it up at about 70 feet. Big problem now is I have to go into the woods a little bit to do that, and I have to de-tick and de-critter myself, and I just hate that. Between the chiggers and the ticks, Brad, it's tough this time of the year for me when I live in a wooded area to get out there without getting eaten alive by the insects.
Well, of course. Wouldn't be any fun if there wasn't. All right. You have a good day. Say 73s all around. W1AY.
Okay, and I did pull up the diagram of MPO, a good satellite image, and it is still the problem. They have limited taxiways. They have some turnarounds on runway, runway 13, and they got a little turnaround segment on 23. But yeah, I can see where that's still a bit of an issue. And I can see the taxiway that I used to take in to the hangar where they have the breakfast on the east side of the airport. That hangar's still there. And I remember it was a real rinky-dink, very beat-up taxiway. And I can see that taxiway is still there, and it is really beat up still to this day. Probably deteriorated even more. No money going to airports, it seems. All right, clear with Brad, W1AY, NJ2US. It's not Dave, it's Jeff and Cape May. Any other check-ins?
Alpha 2, Tango Sierra Mobile.
Whiskey 2, Yankee Papa.
All right, Whiskey 2, Yankee Papa got you. Art, stand by. Let me go to the mobile. Alpha 2, Tango Sierra. Hello, Bill.
Hey, Jeff, good to hear you. And by the way, I knew it was you and not Dave, although sometimes you guys do sound similar. Thanks for running it. You sound great. I'm just coming through, where am I? Cross River, New York, about 40 miles north of New York City on 684. We're kicking off Mother's Day here, going to see my wife's younger brother. Beautiful day for it. He's got a pool, so we'll have fun. I've been listening along. You sound great. S9 Plus and about an S1 noise floor. Thanks for doing it, Jeff. 73s.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate the fine report and your 5.9 plus down here from the mobile. Sounding good. Take care, 73-20831. Lifetime member and a regular. Thank you, sir. Next up, Whiskey 2, Yankee Papa.
Yeah, W2YPP. Good afternoon. Of course, you know my handle. You know where I am, too, I'll bet. But for those of you who don't, the handle's Art, Alpha Romeo Tango, located in Syracuse, New York. We have an absolutely gorgeous summer day going. Well, I call it a spring day. So beautiful, sunny, and a little bit of wind. No clouds in the sky. So very excited for summer to get going. Launched the sailboat on Lake Ontario this weekend. And just looking forward to a really, really nice summer. W2YPP, over.
Yeah, same here, Art. We enjoy the change of seasons, the wife and I. No real desire, other than for tax reasons. We would love to get out of New Jersey, no question about that. But if you put the politics and the taxes on the side, I enjoy the weather up here. Now, that sounds kind of crazy because we do get a little bit of everything. Chilly winters, sometimes cold winters, sometimes snow, sometimes no snow, sometimes a hot summer, sometimes a pleasant summer. The seasons change here, and quite frankly, the wife and I had agreed some time ago that we kind of like that, and we're not sure how we'd react if we were somewhere where the season stayed exactly the same year round. So, I guess the big thing keeping us here is the grandkids for the time being, Art. So we'll see. But at some point in time, I got to escape the politics and the tax structure here in New Jersey. It's absolutely brutal. It'll be like found money if I move anywhere else but here. Certainly not New York, New Hampshire, and other Massachusetts, some of these tax-heavy states. But Art, I hope you do enjoy your summer. Have a good day.
Sounds great, and I hope you have one as well. And I agree about the seasons, although I'll tell you, by the time March comes around in Syracuse, my wife and I we go down to South Carolina for the whole month, and it's very nice, and then we come back and summer's here. 7-3, have a great one, W2YPP.
Yeah, that's not a bad theory. I kind of like that. Somewhere in those mid-Atlantic states, South Carolina, North Carolina, can really stretch out a good season. Thanks, Art. 73, W2YPP, NJ2US ECARS. Just a few more minutes to go. We're going to move into the last call area. We'll get ECARS shut down for the day. Any other check-ins?
Hello, Jeff.
Check-ins for ECARS, November Juliet 2, Uniform Sierra.
KB1 HRL.
Check-ins for ECARS, looking for phonetic call signs, please. Check-ins.
Victor America 3, Juliet Tango.
Victor Alpha 3, Juliet Tango. Hello, my friend, brother Jim. It's been some time. March 19th, my dear friend. I hope all is well. What do you got to report, Jim? It's been a while. You make me nervous when I don't hear you.
NJ2US VA3JT 30610. Well, I've been very, very busy with those pictures I sent you, and coming up in May, we'll have a special event station from the Ojibwe submarine. And the good news is that the 10 chaps from the military that took the ham radio course, they all passed. Back to you.
Oh, that's fantastic news, Jim. Thanks for sharing that. Thank you so much for your service to the community, including the amateur radio community, and of course, all you do in your vocation, and just there for your brother man. And Jim, it's such a pleasure to get you checked in here. Of course, you're a lifetime member of ECARS 30610, and enjoy Mother's Day.
Amen on that, and I'll leave you with a little bit of a smile for your face if you enjoy working with antennas like you do, and you're my age, almost 80. The only thing I can say is stay vertical.
You know what? That's the right polarization for this stage of life, vertical polarization. 73, Jim. Clear of Victor Alpha 3, Juliet Tango, dear friend. NJ2US ECARS, any check-ins? This is the East Coast Amateur Radio Service, November Juliet 2, Uniform Sierra. We're going to be wrapping the net up here. Last calls.
Whiskey 2 Sierra.
Whiskey 2 Sierra again. And check-ins for ECARS, November Juliet 2, Uniform Sierra.
Kilo 3 Juliet Tango Alpha.
All right, Alpha Delta's in there, and I heard Kilo 3 Juliet Tango Alpha. Stand by. The Alpha Delta, your full call sign, please. A lot of tentative communications out there. Don't quite understand. Of course, maybe they're not hearing me. Maybe the band is flattening out. But we do have Kilo 3 Juliet Tango Alpha. Tim, you're 5 and 8.
Yeah, you're 5'9". Good job today. Yeah, today has been kind of goofy. Ever since Frank started out, it seemed like there were a lot of people who called in, but then didn't follow through when the net controls would call them back. It was interesting. Would have been interesting to see if somebody had enumerated all that. That would be pretty funny. All right, 73 K3JT8.
Tim, I thought about it long and hard as to, other than people just not paying attention, I honestly believe that many radio amateurs in their stations have a low confidence level in their receiver capability. And generally, I do find that associated with anybody using their transmit antennas for receive, typically a dipole or an inverted V that's strung up there in the sky. The amount of noise that those antennas capture really make it difficult to hear even decent signals. When I compare what I hear on the loop antenna for receive, now most people would think, holy smokes, a 600-foot horizontal loop antenna suspended 65 feet in the air, you would think that would have remarkable receive capabilities, but the opposite is true. They're contrary to popular belief. Some people say loop antennas are quiet. That's not really true. In my experience, there are things that make an antenna quiet, and just the fact that it's a loop may drain off something because it's a DC short. But I got to tell you, when you compare the noise floor at S8, S9 on a dipole antenna, compare it with a low noise, low to the ground antenna where the noise floor is S2, S3, you're missing a whole world of signals that you just simply can't hear. Tim, over.
That's interesting. That's true. But, when a net control comes back and acknowledges that he heard you, then you should have confidence that you're going to be able to get through to him and have some kind of a contact. But anyway, and I think you're right about the thing about people getting distracted in there. I know that happens a lot, and that's totally understandable, especially if you have kids or cats or whatever. But and also what happens, I notice, is that when there's a long list of check-ins, then, the conversations there, the contact, can be long or short, and then, you do lose track of things sometimes, and I get that too. All right, well, anyway, I have really enjoyed this, all of these nets, and I only got into them later on here in my years of ham radio, but it's been a lot of fun. Retirement also helps that. 73, K through JTA.
Comment?
Tim, thank you very much. Appreciate your comments. And yeah, speaking about that phenomenon where the net controller clearly acknowledges a call sign and says, hey, there was one more in there. Who was that? What I do, tell you the truth, and this is just my own theory, if I did not capture at least two letters of the call sign, with a possible exception of the last letter of a call sign, I don't try to go out and copy somebody who I have no ID on. I find that to be one of the most useless net control calls for logins. You'll hear it frequently. A net controller will go, and who is that last one? Well, there's no context for that for people listening. They don't know if they were the last one. And that net controller should not be surprised when they don't get a reply to a question like, who is the last one? Or who is the station calling? Or who is that really light signal? There's no context for that. So unless you captured one or two letters of the call sign, there's no point trying to drag those check-ins in. Tim, there was somebody with a comment. Stand by. Maybe it was for you. The person with the comment, what is your call sign, please?
Alpha 2, Tango Sierra Mobile.
Hey, Bill, go right ahead.
Jeff, I agree with everything you've said. I have a lot of experience with radio. I think one of the most under-discussed issues with receiving is the quality of the operator's ears, and I don't say that as a joke. It's amazing the differing abilities people have to hear and hear well, and this is why on nuclear submarines they interview, hundreds if not thousands of candidates, for the listening stations, because they know there's great variability. Back to you.
It's so true, Bill. And in two applications in my life, I've witnessed that firsthand. Number one is air traffic control communications. Number one, I have stated before, there is no more disciplined communications in civilian life than that occur between pilots and air traffic controllers on frequencies. And those, ladies and gentlemen, use amplitude modulation, so go figure. And everything in aviation has to be heard and understood, and there's a very strong mechanism to find out if you were not heard correctly, and that, of course, is the concept of the read back. And if you've ever listened to aviation communications, not one instruction is given from a pilot or from an air traffic controller that is not repeated back for confirmation. But I do find the skill levels, especially in my 911 centers where I worked for a good part of my career, I was really nervous about some of my telecommunicators who are otherwise very skilled people. They did not have a hearing or listening skill. Several people could be standing there and you hear a fast transmission from an officer in trouble. And like deer in the headlights, the dispatcher just stares at the console and says, repeat, I didn't hear anything. And everybody else standing there clearly heard the transmission. So that always made me nervous, Bill.
Yeah, I agree. I did a little bit of flying before the kids came along. I know exactly what you're talking about. Always a pleasure, Jeff. Have a good day. More beautiful weather. AA2TS Mobile.
Thanks, Bill. And Tim, anything else to add? We're going to wrap this up. You guys are the tail gunners.
Nope, that's good. K3JTA 73.
73 all, and thank you all for participating in ECARS today. ECARS will return tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Tomorrow's Monday, 7:30 a.m. with N4HCI as your net control. Thanks. We'll be closing ECARS for the day. We don't have hard stops on Sundays. That's why we didn't end at exactly 1:30. Every other day we have a hard stop at 1:30, so we can go a couple extra minutes here. 73 all, NJ2US out.
Echo Delta X-ray remote.